finally out, and I've been testing some of his abilities in some custom games, and I believe I found a new way to pop scan his drone over some double boxes. Hang around, and I'll explain how. Right, chat, let's go over what we've found out about the drone so far. So,
locating
the
targets.
jump height is insane. You can easily jump onto these kind of boxes, which allows you to get a nice scan off straight away. Now, the thing is, you don't want, if you're already on site, you don't want to get stuck in the drone for too long. You don't want to have to like throw it down on the ground, jump up, and then scan. So what you can do is if you're backside, if you look at just slightly at an angle, you're not staring directly at the wall, you're just staring maybe like 10-15 degrees. If you just take a step back and you look up the way, the drone will go on top, and you can get a quick scan off.
Locating targets.
So that's like how quickly you can get a scan off. If you just pause a second, because otherwise the drone's, for whatever reason, it still sees it already in the air, so it scans very close.
Drone going out.
You want it to like be in this screen first and then pulse. So that's something to know. If you're too close, it won't work. The drone kicks back and tries to land on your head like that. And if you're too shallow of an angle as well, it just slides down. So you're looking at a, not too much of an angle, and you just take like 1 or 2 steps back and look up.
Locating targets.
And it'll fairly consistently, I should say,
drone going out.
Get on top. The next thing to know is you can get it on top of these double boxes, but you have to be, I mean, you can jump from there to there easy enough.
Drone going out.
Like, that is not difficult by any means. Like, you can get up here and then pop the scan. But if you're up against this double box, if you're hiding here and you're waiting for someone and you hear noise, you hear footsteps, if you just look almost all the way up, so I'm looking pretty much, you can see my crosshair like there. So I'm looking probably just past this, but pretty high. You don't have to jump. If you just left click,
locating target,
the drone lands on top, at which point you can just walk it forward. Or you can just immediately scan. That's going to scan this bit of hookah, garden, so you're going to know if there's people there, at which point, if you have a guardian or something, you won't even need to swing. So yeah, that's what we've learned about the drone so far. When you're using it, this kind of like darkened section, this fog of war essentially, is 18 meters. That's the point where you see the enemy and the enemy sees you. But the scan goes just over, somewhere between 30 to 32-ish meters is where it's going to pick up line of sight, just from testing it in the practice range. So that's what we know about the drone. So the other question that's on everyone's mind is...
drone going out.
No. Flat as paper. Yes, chat. Okay, so just to confirm, right? Say, for example, you're on they're going to be pushing up short. If they have a tail, what's the first thing the tail's going to do? He's just going to clear lamps.
All missiles away.
So, say you're in lamps, and you run out of lamps. You get to here. What's your next move? Well, you could throw these down somewhere, but you don't know specifically where they're going. So, to get some information, if you just walk directly up the truck, equip your drone and look up. Right, my crosshair is probably right at the edge, but it doesn't need to be perfect. So you look up, I'm just holding W and left click.
Locating targets.
I don't jump, and it just gets the drone on top, in which case you can jump, pop the drone if you want. Main thing to know is, again, the drone scans to 18 meters. The sight line for that kind of fog of war is 18 meters, the point where you can see them and they can see you. So 18 meters is right at that point, so as they're pushing out. So they're not going to be able to see you up here, which is pretty decent. But the scan range is 30 to 32-ish meters. So you're going to get all down short. Not to the back, of course, but like at least to them kind of this area where they're swinging out and coming down. You're gonna see all of that, and a section of cubby at least. And if you run and jump out the way,
locating target,
like this, you're going to get to see if anyone is pushing to lamps fast as well. At which point, you pop your drone, then you're ready. And even if you want to follow up with a stun, and then to see if there's anyone pushing fast into lamps. So and also these double boxes again, like this is mainly just for sight because it's not going to scan all the way down to cubby or anything. again, if you look up, again, I'm not jumping, just left click,
Drone going out.
and it lands on top. It can
Locating
get
targets.
onto these boxes just by jumping itself, but it cannot get on top of that box. It's just too high, but you can then throw it up.
Locating targets.
Look up, hold forward.
Locating
You don't need
targets.
to jump. If I jump and scan, I'm scanning from like here. So I'm gonna see.
There.
So 30 to 32 meters is the max range for the scan.
There.
So I'm gonna see anyone that's here, anyone that's here, anyone that's like hiding in here, anyone that's here.
There.
Sight other than Cubby and this little corner, probably behind this box. But I'm going to see tower entrance as well. So this is a really fucking good scan. If you just oh Jesus, if you're at the middle of gen, walk again. Crosshair is somewhere
There.
around here. Doesn't need to be perfect. The crosshair disappears when you pull the drone out, so it doesn't need to be perfect. If you just stand and left click,
Drone going out.
the drone gets thrown quite high. So if you just hold W at the same
Drone
time,
going out.
it lands on top, and then you can get your pulse off. So what we know is that the closest that you're going to see someone and that they're going to see you is 18 meters. So let's see,
There.
18 meters is
Plant the spike.
already on site. You know, so no one
There.
back here is going to see you, but you're able to scan them at 30 meters. You know, like 18 meters
There.
is there. So, I mean, again, like, no one's going to be expecting
Locating targets.
this. You know, it's going to be very fast. So, the time to react, especially in like lower ranks or just kind of like casual, no one's going to be expecting that, especially at the start. Like finding stuff like this at the start of like weird ways to use the abilities is that it'll get you value for a while. Will this get nerfed? Potentially. Like Tejo in some ways is going to have to get nerfed. He's very, very strong. How they're going to decide to do that, I don't know, but here we are. If you made it all the way to the end, thanks for stopping by. This is the first kind of longer video I've done, but I wanted to do it just because I found this and I thought it could be interesting to get this out kind of early into Tejo being out, to see what people can come up with and where it goes from there. If I find anything else, I will be sure to get another video up soon. Thanks for stopping by.